How many hours would that just get the ball, guys. Watch the ball.
Pressure's amazing. Pressure's a great thing. There's one of those quotes that says you live till your next suffering. Like you just live through suffering. Every day you wake up and you look for something to suffer, and suffering and pressure like go hand in hand. But the more you learn to deal with suffering and the more you learn to deal with pressure, like the better you'll become, like in any aspect. So, like I've had a few like finance internships as like a young guy, like in New York and that, and you'll have like pressure situations where you got to get something done within a day, and then we'll finish in a day, and someone will be like, "Oh, that's great. Do you not feel any pressure on that?" I'm like, "Nah, not really. Like, I've squashed matches. I've got 45 minutes to produce a great result. I've got way more pressure on that. Here now, I've got a project. I've got a full day to do it. Yeah, way less pressure in sense of time. So." Yeah, college squash teaches you so much about how to deal with pressure, how you can use like the idea of pressure on other aspects of your life. So it's important.
I think it's good to have expectations, especially like on a high college level team. You want your coaches and teammates to put on some expectations on you. You don't want to get on court with zero pressure, because it means more when you have pressure on you. That's when champions are born, you know? That's when the big moments happen. And I think we don't do it too much. Like I said, we just hold ourselves accountable when we lose, and we celebrate it when we win. And you just look forward to like being a big part of that team, you know?
I wouldn't want them to feel that it's pressure for a start. I talk to incoming players about the balance. And very often you get freshmen coming in and they're like doing loads, and they eventually find their balance. But it's all about balance. And some people can cope with bigger loads than others. So I think that's an individual conversation, but it would be, again, sitting down with them and analysing what's going on in their days, and are they able to equally produce in all the departments in the school, or is one department taken away from another? For example, are they overtraining and not putting enough emphasis on their schoolwork?
Yeah, 100%. It's like the amount of pressure you put on yourself is, I think it's correlated with how much you expect from yourself. And I think I expect from myself a lot. Also, there's like a lot of pressure for me for like being Egyptian, for example. Like all the best players in the world are all Egyptians. So when you get on court with like an opponent, they look at you, oh, you're Egyptian, you're probably gonna be like really good. And then you have to like just go up to that high standard and play according, because when you start playing the first couple points and he's like, oh, is he actually that good? Is he like those other Egyptians that we see on TV and like being like top 7 in the world, and top 7 out of the top 10 are Egyptians. So it just puts a lot of pressure on you, and you just want to be that skill man, like, you know, your idols are.
Expectations of teammates, coaches, and all that. I don't really think about it. I think I have like very high expectations on myself, and no coaches or friends put more expectations on me than I do for myself. So like coaches will say, oh yeah, you guys are gonna have like great manners on court and like behave well and all those kind of things. But like I already like say that to myself, and if I like hit my racket against the wall, like I get severely angry with myself. Like we'll get angry. Yeah, I might talk back to the ref once in a while. That's more like a time wasting tactic. But like if I do something purely out of anger, I'll be more like angry with myself than the coach saying, oh Dean, you misbehaved. I'll be like, oh, I don't care really. Like the coach saying I misbehaved, more to myself being like, I misbehaved, that's bad. I should expect more of myself. So I don't think their expectations affect my games. like I've been brought up to like expect more of myself most of the time.
Yeah, there was definitely a time where I was not playing to what I expect from myself. The way I dealt with it was, like, thankfully I was, that might have been the most I've been fit. That was the fittest time of my life. So the way I looked at it was, all right, my squash is not at its A level right now, so I'm not playing my top game. I'm gonna depend on the other aspects that I'm feeling good at this moment, which was my fitness levels. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get on court, I'm gonna play a marathon match, and I'll be the last man standing.
Yeah, 100%. I think like even in my first year and second year of college squash, like I felt like like a complete imposter syndrome. Like I was playing at 9, I was really doing well, like I was just winning at 9. And then guys were like always like, oh, Dean just always wins at 9, just comes in clutch, wins all his games at 9. And I was just like, not like, yeah, I just win them. Like it wasn't like a big thing. And like I was just like, no, I didn't feel like I deserved to winning them, but like I just won them. It wasn't a big thing. And then like I got into the All Liberty League team for squash. And like I'm a severely mediocre player, and there were so many better players that they could pick like for that like conference team. But I don't think I suffered like severe imposter syndrome, but like it was more like, yeah, someone was like, oh, I didn't deserve it. But I did get the wins to sort of do it, but it wasn't like fully, there was better people out there.
But I mean, everyone's different, but I try and take a bit of pressure off of them by taking stress off of the actual result and putting more emphasis on the performance. And my theory is if you take care of the process, the outcome will take care of itself. So I try and alleviate that pressure by focusing on what we do in the process.
What do I do when I have a bad game? I never have a bad game. It's like, win is not a win. No, like everyone has bad games. I think I used to really like think about them a lot, but now like I'll lose 30 minutes later, I'll be completely over it, but like I will the next day I'll like reevaluate like what I did wrong, where I should be going, or maybe I've lost like 3 big games in a row, then I'll really like will think about maybe sit down with my coach, maybe sit down with some close friends and be like where do we think we should go? Like is it me doing something wrong? Not fit enough, not playing enough squash. Oh, maybe I'm actually playing too much squash. Maybe I'm just too much in my head, too many hours on court. So I think if it's just a one-time thing, then I just like, hey, it's a one-time thing, 30 minutes, move on. But it's a continual thing, then just seek people that care about you, I think.
A team, my expectations for a team are about the process. Turning up, training hard, and as I said earlier, those goals will be achieved. Some people obviously have individual issues. Today, for example, I was told that somebody is struggling mentally, and I know this person, and they're doing the same thing in squash because their expectations for themselves are too high. And therefore, when they're not reaching those, in some cases, unreal expectations, they're beating themselves up. And it's become destructive in that case because they've gone past that point. I do believe one has to have, set your ceiling high. But if you set it too high and you're not achieving that and you're becoming negative because you're not achieving that, I think that's destructive. So I would get them to adjust their goals. I do believe if you create a culture that is healthy, and what I look for is people wanting to just be the best versions of themselves and those around them. And in that case, I do believe, and we've had a situation here where a player has been struggling mentally, a group of senior players recognized this and actually invited this player to their townhouse to spend the night with them and actually spent a lot of time helping them out. And I can see a huge difference in that player. For me, as a coach, for that to happen with the players is incredible.
Yeah, like our team is a team that like holds itself accountable. We hold each other accountable with no personal with nothing personal behind it. When someone has a bad loss or has a bad game or a bad day, we call them out on it. We like talk about it, see what's like what happened there, how we cannot repeat those mistakes again, and just try to motivate each other to remind ourselves of the days that we actually played well.
Every time, whichever position you're in, right?
What's up, Cords? You got a cut, G, I know. What do we think, Cords? It's lighter, eh? It's a little shorter, but like in 2 weeks it'll be nice. It'll be